Hello creators, thank you for joining me today. Today we're going to go over how we can draw our hands using simple basic shapes to help you understand the form of the hands and how you can put it in any position, and using these simple shapes you can construct them. Alright everybody, so like I said in the intro, today we're going to go over hands and how we can construct hands with very basic shapes that we've covered in previous videos. So let's get started. All right. So for the palm, the biggest mass of the hand, right? We can simplify that into a box that narrows a little bit at the base near the wrist, right? All right. And then the fingers, we can look at these as cylinders or cubes. Today we're going to look at them as simple cylinders. So if you look, something that might make it easier on you is if you section your fingers off, because really they're three segments, right? So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Now if you've been practicing cylinders or drawing your cylinders, this should be fairly easy. I'm drawing on a computer right now, so it's just a little bit different. I'm not quite used to drawing on a computer yet. So just keep on, and it's important to have these curved lines in there. That shows the form of the cylinder, or the top of the cylinder, excuse me. So even the slightest little curve indicates form and direction. Alright, so right here, we get to right here, it's still kind of a box, but it's just slightly skewed, right? Excuse me. Alright, so we really have two boxes here. And then we'll go in and just finish off with more cylinders. Alright? And that's about it for this view. So when we take our background away, we can even go as far as to look at the wrist area too. So if we look at that as a cylinder, on this view it looks more like a cylinder. We have we see our curves right there and the wrinkles in our skin. So when we take the background away, you can see a hand, right? So let's go over here to a different view. Maybe that one. Yeah, I think we'll look at that one. Alright, let's move this up just a little bit. Alright, so now it gets a little bit more interesting, and you can see a little bit more of the form that we're going for. Because, so we've got the side of the wrist that comes up here, and we've got another side that comes up here, right? And we've got another side right here. So really the arm is kind of like a cylinder that turns into a curvy box. So we can see that right here. And then the other side is going to curve like that, right? Now on the other view you couldn't see it as well, but you can think about your joints as spheres. And even the fingertips you could simplify as spheres if you really wanted to. Because the reason we're using these basic shapes in our drawing is so that we can get it in our minds how we're going to shade all the forms in there. So here we can see a little bit more of that cylindrical. If we look at the wrinkles, that kind of tells you which way they're going, right? And then we can simplify our fingertips as spheres. So just come around that form. I encourage you to take a look at your own hands, because they're always available. They're excellent models. If you don't know what to draw your hands. Like I said, they're always there for you. Alright, so now that we've got one side of the box for your sum, so now we've got this whole plane right here, right? So if we come up, we can split this up into this shape. We can split it up in this angle too. But here it's gonna come out a little bit, and then it's just gonna come down like that. Now at this angle, we can't see the side plane here. All we can see is one plane, right? But we can see that box is going to be curved up like this, and that's the front plane of that box that we're looking at. So if you think about your hands as simple shapes, it makes it easier to visualize and simplify in space. So right here on our pointer finger, we're going to do the same thing that we did on the thumb. So there's our cylinder, right? If you want to, you can imagine that there's like a little sphere in there as your joint, like that. That looks more like a joint to me. Alright, so we'll do the same thing up here. Come up, draw our contour line, and then we can simplify this as a cylinder, because that's pretty much what it's shaped like, is a cylinder. I mean, not a cylinder, a sphere. Goodness gracious. And we've got a little joint in there. And we'll just do that for the other 1, 2, 3 fingers. So come down, draw our contour line, bring it down, just draw our little imaginary ball right there for our joint. Alright, so come around like a cylinder. And if you really wanted to, you can still simplify your fingers as a box. I'll go over that on this finger. Whichever way you're more comfortable. So if we look at our finger as a box, got a side here, and a side here. We got a top corner and then the front corner, right? And that line's going to track pretty much all the way up. I feel like it's easier to look at your fingers as cylinders, because they've already got that rounded off kind of feel to them in most places. Right? So we look at this one here as a, let me fix that. So we look at this one here as a box as well. you look, you got a side there, side there, side there. And with that, it'll track almost all the way up. We've got our sphere at the end. And there you go. Now this is very basic. This will help you get your basic forms down. Getting into the details of the fingers and hands is a little bit more complex. I don't know if my technical abilities will allow me to do that today, as far as doing it on a computer goes. I'm still fairly new to the whole computer art, digital art kind of thing. And as you can see, when I remove the background, you can still see the basic flow of the hands, basic shapes, right? You can kind of tell which direction everything's going. So let's get that back on. We'll go to our next one. One more, and then we might try to do some shading. Alright, so for this one, we've got something that I haven't gone over in a previous video called foreshortening, which is going on right here. Foreshortening is like, so I've got a blank screen here, right? So when we see a cylinder, wow, that's terrible. I told you I'm still new to digital art. So when we see a cylinder, we see it kind of like this, right? Well, foreshortening is like if we turn this on its side, we're not going to see all of it, right? We're only going to see part of it. So what foreshortening does is so it's kind of like we're doing that. It could be this. It's the same cylinder, just at a different angle in space, right? Oh man, this is terrible. Give me 1 second. I find my gloves. Let's see if that'll help me out here. Foreshortening. So it's like we're taking that cylinder. Let's try that one again. And we're turning it on its side. Digital art's a little bit harder than I thought it was. Correct. So it's the same cylinder, just on its side, so we're not going to see the full length of the body of the cylinder, if that makes sense. So we'll go back over to our drawing, or to our image. Let's zoom in a little bit. Oh crud. So we can see foreshortening right here. This is going to be the bottom of the finger. This is going to be the top of the finger. This is going to be that side of the cylinder that we were talking about. It's the same length as it was before, but it's on its side. Right? And then same thing here with like the middle section of your finger. It's going to come down. It's not going to be quite as long as it was before, but it's going to come down. because the top portion of that cylinder is also hidden by the top of the finger. And then right here, where the finger is bent, you can see it kind of smooshes into the rest of your hand. Alright, and so we'll do the same thing here. Get the top, the very tip of the finger, top of the finger. It kind of curves back in space a little bit. So a little bit of foreshortening here. Same thing with the midsection, is tilting back in space. And then right here you can't really see the wrinkle because of my ring, but it's got the same kind of thing going on. Also, something to note that the direction of these lines helps to indicate which direction your cylinder is tilting. So in this image, the top of you can see the top of the cylinder, and we've got this kind of shape going on, right? So that indicates that the top of the cylinder is pointing more towards us, so it's tilting towards us in space. If we do the same thing here, it looks as if the bottom of the cylinder is tilting closer to us, right? And then we can tell that by this kind of shape, right? So go back to our image, and now we'll just keep drawing, just keep filling them in. So right here, the top of the cylinder is curving down, so it appears that the finger is pointing back in space. Like this would be the bottom of the cylinder, this would be the top of the cylinder. Wait, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's pointing closer to us. Yeah. Because we've got that going on. Sorry about that. Using too much brain power on this computer stuff. Not used to it. Alright, and then we'll just keep building up from there. And we've got like a little sphere right there. Alright, so we'll just keep on going. So it looks like this one is facing further away from us at the top. Get that kind of thing going on. That one looks like it's about level, right? Because it's almost a square at the top. Alright, and then we'll come around to a little sphere there. And then you can connect the top part of that box. Alright, so let's get back to that box. So if we, I don't know if you can see this line, but if we break up the hand like this, this is going to be our box. And then we'll come down a little bit more, and that'll be our box right there. So that's going to be the front plane of the box. Let me switch back to the pin. That'll be the top side plane, and that'll be the back plane of the box. Right, and then that's going to come across here, and then we've got our other box to worry about. So right, that'll be one edge, kind of where the curve breaks the. I don't know how to explain that one to you. But anyway, there's that box right there. So you can kind of see where the form curves in and out of space. So like right here you can see that it kind of curves, reaches the close as it's going to get, and then it starts curving back around. Right? I'm hitting that button. Alright, so right here, we've got that's the full length of the thumb, so that's going to be your whole cylinder. And you've got one section near the base, and then you've got another section right here. Those are pretty easy to find because they're right in the creases of where your fingers bend. Right? And then you've got your little cylinder right there, your sphere right there. So if we turn our background off, you can kind of feel that. Let me back up a little bit. You can kind of feel how it's sitting in space and what kind of pose you're sitting in, right? Let's go ahead and draw in this wrist area. We're going to visualize that as a box. Right? Now let's cut that off. That looks pretty good. So now, let's take our background, turn the opacity down a little bit, and then we'll add a layer. Let's rename that lines. And then we will attempt to do a little bit of shading. Let's bear with me here. And then we'll cut our brush opacity down. That looks pretty good. Alright, so if we've got our light source, let's say right here. Right? We're going to have light coming down this way, and this way. So let's visualize that before we start to draw, right? So if light's coming down this way, right here is going to be the brightest area. And we're going to shade in some of this. And that's going to find something right quick. That's pretty good. So it's going to get lighter as it goes around that form. Alright, same thing here. It's going to be really dark around here. And as it comes around that form, I need to play around with these settings again before I try to do this again. Now as we come down here, all of this is blocking the light, so all of that'll be dark. Right? Excuse me. Now today we're just going over how we construct the forms, kind of get our basic forms in our head. Maybe in another video we can go over some more details and stuff. But for right now, I just want to keep it simple. I know everybody's got busy days and stuff going on and all of that, so before I do this again, I will definitely try to get my pen set up properly, because this isn't looking that great. So up here on the top of the fingertips, where we said they were spheres, you're going to curve around that tip. You get that kind of spherical feel to it, right? Now right here might be kind of tricky. Let's zoom in. So right here, we're going to get our shadows. And then down here, assume it's more of a straight shadow, because right here's a sphere, down here's a cylinder. So we're going to shade it like a cylinder. Alright, and same thing for this. We're going to curve around. We're slightly changing how the curve is angled, because it's at a different angle than this one. So we're just gonna now we're gonna go back to our straight lines, or straight shading, like that. And we're gonna back up. Let's cut the background off. It looks really simple, but you can still see it, right? Alright, so let's go back to our pen. So now in here, our light source is here, so we're going to come down, and since I cut the opacity down a little bit, it's going to be a little easier to see, but you can kind of see where the shading is going to land. So it's going to land about right there. It's going to land in every crease. Right? All the little creases in your hand. And then we're going to get more shade, or more shadow here, because it's further away from the light source, and this is slightly curved down. Do that really quickly. Alright, now we'll cut our background off and see what we got. So you can kind of see the basic idea. I know it's really rough, and that's my fault. I should have done more experimentation with the pen and all, but this is for the kids at Bethel Baptist Church. I'm trying to make a special video for them because their Friday homeschool groups have been shut down. So I'm trying to do something a little special for them to keep their motivation and help them continue learning about art and how to draw, because drawing is one of my favorite things to do. And as you can tell, I still need some practice. We can all use practice, but I really need some more practice on the computer side of things. Especially the computer side of things. But so you can kind of see where we're going with it, right? This box kind of flows into this box, and then this kind of flows down. So really quickly, as an overview, where's my pen? Where's my pen? So really quickly, as an overview, we've used all three shapes that we've gone over in my videos and in my class. We've gone over cylinders, which we can see here, right? We've gone over cubes or boxes, such as right here. And then we've gone over spheres, which you can see right there. Maybe right here would be a better example. Alright everybody, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for joining me today. If you like this video and would like to see more like it, please check out my other videos. I think they're on this side. I don't know. They're on one of these sides, right? Alright, so keep practicing, keep up the hard work, and we'll see you next time. God bless.